Around the Lens bonus segment for episode 25. If you are a Patreon and you've donated a little money to our cause, thank you very much for your support. If you're watching this on YouTube, hey, let a friend know about the show. I appreciate that. Let's get the word spread about what we are and what we're doing. All right, so our bonus topic this week is going to be about Facebook, actually. So, we have a Facebook page at facebook.com/around ATL podcast, Around the Lens podcast. I don't even remember. Go to aroundthelens.com, connect to it. You'll find it on there. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is Facebook likes mean nothing. So if you have a Facebook page, if you have a Facebook audience you're trying to grow, you got a photo page or something like that, you're trying to get your visual journalism out there and you're posting your stuff up, and you say to yourself, wow, look at all those likes I get. Well, according to an article on F-Stoppers, those likes mean nothing. Essentially, it's not about the likes, it's about the sort of post reach. It's about the engagement you get on that post. So if you're posting something and you want people to click on the link to your post, that's what matters most. But anyways, essentially on the article, the author suggests three things, three major points that you need to think about whenever you're posting on Facebook. Is one, pinpoint your target audience. Two, cross-examine your ideal client to your current audience. And three, create content that engages the audience you're marketing to. So, all valid points. What do you guys take from this? I mean, do you engage heavily on Facebook first of all? Is that something you're trying to develop as a means by which to sort of reach an audience and gain, I would say, leverage in terms of what you do? And then do you do anything with Facebook specifically to kind of leverage that? Like CS, I know you have a pretty good Instagram following, but I don't know what your Facebook following is.
I truthfully haven't invested a ton in my Facebook account. I should. I'm sure I should. I know there's a value to that. But I do tend to agree with that notion that the amount of likes that you've got don't really translate well to how good of a photographer you are. I think it's kind of almost meaningless. To me, a random stranger liking your photo is far less important than, say, an editor giving you praise, which I think is much more appealing. From a marketing perspective, yeah, it's super handy, but I haven't invested myself the way I should.
Where do you invest yourself online?
I do put a lot of it onto Instagram from time to time. I know that it's a good way of getting your photos out there, but truthfully, I don't have a huge social
And
I have.
Did we lose Chris?
Oh, we got him back, I think.
Oh, can you hear me?
Generally keeps it to private.
Chris, we lost you for a second there. Can you repeat what you just said?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. My internet connection is horrific right now. I don't have a huge social media presence. I put things on Instagram, generally just as a way to shotgun out, ways to update the kind of work I'm working on. But aside from my professional Facebook page, which I will update occasionally, my personal page is set to private.
Okay. Alex, how about you? What are you doing with Facebook or any online medium?
I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm not on Twitter too often. I think that's a great tool for journalists and reporters and for breaking news. You want to, something's going on. If there's a, God forbid, whatever breaking news thing here, but wherever, you can hashtag it and kind of see what people are saying on the ground. I mean, that's a great tool right there. Instagram, I'm luckily I've been featured by Instagram and have 55,000 followers. So that's another great way to self-publish your work. And Facebook is the same thing in that regards. The way that I use it, it's not as much as me posting a lot of personal stuff. Or political things or your opinions or whatnot. I treat it in similar regards to how I use Instagram as far as a tool to publish like we're in this time where it's like there's no easier way to get your photos in front of an editor now than using the social media. I mean, I thought about starting a blog, but like to get like how am I going to get all these editors to look at this blog when they're on Facebook every day? Like you add them as a friend, or just other photographers, other journalists. Like it's a great way to network. It's a great way to get your work out there, and people are going to be on Facebook all like just about every day. So it's going to get seen. Like as far as getting likes goes, I don't know. That's a I don't think that's like super meaningful. Like what CS was saying, like you have 1,000 of your friends like it, that's fine. But you have a certain editors like something, then you know what they're seeing your work. So to a way you can gauge
Well,
like
yeah, I mean that's.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I mean that's the whole conceit is that likes don't matter.
Hmm.
But what are you doing? Obviously, you have a huge following on Instagram. What is your following like on Facebook? I mean, do you do anything with the Facebook specifically? I mean, are you engaging with your audience on Facebook, or is it just do you put most of your focus on Instagram?
Instagram's definitely I actually when you guys mentioned that I did check. I have like 1,400 friends, and that's like God knows who of them I actually know in person. So I don't think the Facebook likes are as or the Instagram thing too. Like a lot of these folks are just people you might not know, and as far as editors go, there's probably few and far in between. But the thing is, like, it's a great way to just to get your work out there and to network and it's to me it's a kind of a I used to think this shooting with my phone was silly and Instagram was like totally silly, but it's a way for me to when I'm out on assignment, it keeps me looking for pictures like I do, and like now I love Instagram and shooting with my smartphone because it's like when I'm sitting at a campfire with friends or I'm taking the train to school or whatever, I probably wouldn't be looking for like keeping. I kind of keep always looking for photos because there's a place for them, and I've been able to get clients. I mean, in Ferguson, I was able to Instagram and tweet stuff and Facebook stuff because I just like Chicago being 5 hours away, just showed up. I wasn't on assignment, which was I was lucky. I was close. Like I was fortunate to be close enough that I could just drive down there. But through the social media, I was able to people who are interested in buying my photos. I sold photos to and CNN and Fox actually, which was kind of strange. But yeah, I think it's just like another tool, and I I try to treat my Facebook, pretty professionally. There's, people like, I'm sure we all have friends on there where it's like, did you really say that, or did you really put that on Facebook? And we all got friends like that, so I try to keep it pretty low key. So try to keep it kind of professional, because like I said, it's a great tool for networking. So I think there's advantages to it. I try not to spend, I try not to spend too much time every day on it. I think I've read less books since I've gotten a Facebook account than I think we can.
Yeah.
I'll have something to
So,
say.
so Alex, you don't have a public-facing like Facebook page, right? Like you don't have a Alex Warbolewski photography Facebook like fan page group thing. You just have
No,
your
no,
personal
no.
Facebook page.
Just my personal one. Just my
Okay.
personal page, and yeah, I think that's a good way to um, keep in touch with people, especially folks that are. I don't know if it's going to stay this way, but folks from Turkey and Iraq or people I know and like hang out with in New York or whatever. You can see what they're up to, and I was in D.C. the other weekend, and I saw my friend post a picture, and it's like, dude, you're in D.C. Let's meet up. Let's another photographer friend. So it's it's a nice little networking tool for as far as like keeping in touch with certain professionals who I probably wouldn't have reached out to um, that I'm not like specifically friends with. But you can like I guess to sum it up, you can see what other colleagues are doing, with their like what they're posting, where they're at. Whereas I wouldn't be texting, so and so like, hey, I'm in D.C. Are you in D.C. or whatever. So
Yeah. So I mean, Alex, have you thought about creating like a Facebook group page? I mean, since you have such a good following on Instagram, I mean, something like a public-facing group Facebook page just for your photography work. Have you ever thought about doing something like that?
Maybe at some point. I don't think I'm at that level quite yet, but
Right.
we'll see. We'll see.
Now,
I just got Snapchat. I just got Snapchat the other day, and I can't stop. I got to delete it. It's so fun.
Oh my gosh.
I can't figure it out.
I can't figure it out either. Like I'm still
I
working on it.
actually asked my 15-year-old sister, who's on it all the time. Like she's in the back of the car, just like, and you look back, and she's like making faces at her phone. And you're like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm just Snapchatting with somebody. I'm like, please explain this to me because I don't understand how journalists use it. I've tried to look at it, and I mean, like I got verified on Facebook. So I do Facebook Live things now, and I get like no one, and I have like 15, 16, 17, 100 people or something like that on whatever it is on Facebook, and larger reach, and like 2,000 on Twitter, and like I get nothing from it. I run like a bunch of different people's Facebook pages at different times, so like I know it, and I know the technicals, and I know how to get things moving. For me though, I'm that person that rants on Facebook though. If you follow me at 2 o'clock in the morning, a couple more drinks, and I'm bad. And so like I get into fight. I'll just pick fights with people when I'm bored, and it's terrible. I'm sure I have no doubt that it's cost me work. But again, but these things, to me, all that the use is I check in somewhere, and make sure I take a photo of where I am, if I'm at a Trump rally, if I'm at a protest or whatever, and then basically editors either find it or don't. I'll say, oh, I got this great photo of this happening, and if that's something that somebody wants, editors will get in contact with me every once in a while. But usefulness-wise, I think that's a lot of it, unless you're selling something.
Yeah.
Like if you have a product that you're trying to sell as opposed to a personality, I think a product is by far a lot easier to sell. Like what this guy is kind of talking in his article. He's kind of pitching a book. He's pitching his persona. I mean, he also is not a photojournalist. So, like when you're talking about looking at your numbers, I will never, ever, God forbid, I ever look at what my numbers and what my statistics say, and then go, oh, I have 48% women and 52% men. I probably should shoot some more. Fabrics or something like that, and then that'll get my female numbers up because of the Pinterest crowd. If I ever do that as a photographer in my field, then shoot me, So.
So you're not working on leveraging your audience numbers to be like, which protest should I cover this week?
I leverage the hell out of my border. I leverage the hell out of my border collie. That's what I do on Instagram. Anytime I do a selfie with my border collie, and if I hashtag it selfie and hashtag border collie, I don't have a single photo that gets anywhere near photos that I've taken with my dog. And to me, that makes me hate the world. I mean, like, I'll post photos from Kiev, I'll post photos in the middle of protests, photos like as things, breaking news, things happening. Yeah, 15, 16 likes or something like that. But, one photo of my dog,
people go crazy for that. Yeah.
This is why I hate the internet.
Well, Zach, I mean, you run a lot of different Facebook groups. I mean, Press Photo Group. I mean, I honestly don't know everything else you run. You help run this site for Around the Lens. Yeah. I mean, are you looking at any of the numbers for any of your, groups that you organize in terms of just, are you concerned about like raising Facebook numbers or Facebook,
I mean, for the website ones that I run, like I'm an editor at the mudflats.net. It's an Alaska political blog, and I help run. I do kind of all the visual content for the Greg Palast page, Facebook page, which has like 50,000 likes, or hopefully more than that now. And so I'm constantly checking out those numbers and seeing whether a video does better than a post. And I mean, there's a lot of things that are important if you're trying to get things trending, trying to get things moving on Facebook page. Is that I mean, like right now, Facebook is all about video. You could post a photo that has gets a 10,000 10,000 likes, 50, 500 shares or whatever the equivalents would be. But you post a video that gets 2,000 likes, that's going to be seen more, and your page is going to get seen more. So if you post a lot of video, Facebook is going to push your like page and your personal pages higher, and the algorithm will make it seen more by your friend base and people outside of your friend base. So you gotta know like the tricks. Twitter does different things at different times. I don't follow Twitter as much. I'm not as much of a Twitter person. I'm a watcher on Twitter, not a active participant, except for maybe like trending events. Like I'll live tweet a debate or something like that. That always gets me a lot of traffic. But Facebook for me is where everything is, because I think it's the only site that you can. The 140 character limit and kind of the photo limitations of Twitter, and also Instagram not being able to do links out for me is very limiting. I've seen some people, and I think we talked about this on a previous episode. Some people have started doing full-length stories, full-length storytelling on Instagram, which I think is like it would be a really interesting thing to do, kind of Humans in New York style stuff on that, which is something I probably will eventually look into, and I probably should do, just because I don't know, does Instagram have a character limit? I don't think it does. I think you could write like a 10,000 word blog on it if you wanted to, but
yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah,
they need to do Humans of ISIS, and they need a geotag in every one of those photographs. So
just help the Pentagon.
Just an
I don't see that going over too well.
Humans of ISIS.
Yeah.
Help the Pentagon.
What's that?
Do it.
Yeah. I think it would go very well.
There's actually there's a couple of guys they've hit with drones because they forgot to turn off the geolocator on their Twitter account.
Yeah.
I turned when I went to I wiped my laptop, my phone, wiped everything, and fucking left that shit back at the fob. So.
Yeah,
smart.
Humans of ISIS, good idea.
Yeah, get on that. Hey, if you're listening to the show and you're with ISIS, don't get caught because you'll probably be murdered for that. But if you are, start your own Instagram. Trust me, it's a good idea. Facebook. I found the article interesting. Because I never really thought about likes. And likes being worthless or not. Not really what you think they are. Essentially, they're a pat on the back. And I'm constantly paying more and more attention every day to social media because, of course, I'm trying to grow AroundTheLens.com, Around the Lens, the show, trying to make it popular, trying to make it trend, trying to make people actually, subscribe to it. And, there has been, of course, growth with the show, but it's slow going. And, of course, I thank anyone who's listening to the show and is subscribed to the show. I appreciate your attention. But, I'd love to make the show bigger and better and, always looking at ways to see how we can leverage our social media. So there's some ideas I'm playing with. Obviously, video on Facebook is more engaging if your audience is on Facebook and you're trying to reach them. So I might play with, putting video of the show on Facebook. You have to still kind of research that. But there's a lot of other things out there. Maybe making clips of the show, or finding funny GIFs of CS eating pudding. I'm sorry.
Wait. No. What did you call? What are GIFs?
GIF.
Thank you. We have a show policy that I'm instituting right now as co-host that it's GIF, not GIF.
I'm sorry. You're right. Now it's Heath.
It's going to be Jife. Jife. GIF. Yes, of course. Anyways, so there's lots of different options out there. It was an interesting read. I think if you are trying to develop that Facebook following, or on your public-facing page, then it's a good. He definitely has a lot of good information. I think it's a bit more geared towards the commercial photography route than necessarily visual journalism, but definitely something I think would be paying attention to. I'd love to have 55,000 followers on Instagram. What's that like? Is that what is that like, that 55,000 followers on Instagram?
I think I lost about 10,000 of them after covering Donald Trump. And maybe Bernie Sanders, too. I don't know. But definitely lost it. I think that takes a little toll. It was... What's
Does that garner you attention? Are you getting attention from people who want to like advertise to your followers? I mean, I don't even know like what number of Instagram followers do you have to reach to be, attractive to like advertisers or, I mean, how are you leveraging, Instagram, I guess, to promote your work since you have more than, a lot of people I've talked to.
To be honest with you, the most of my followers aren't photojournalists, so like I think Zach or CS mentioned before, having a bunch of likes on Facebook. What does it matter when it's not an editor? Like to a degree, as far as like getting my name out there goes. Well, if a lot of people liking my pictures aren't in the industry, what does that mean? But the few folks who are in the industry and who do like it, because photojournalists, like, I don't know, especially in New York, they seem to be always on Instagram. So I mean, it helps like to just get your name out there and people see it. Like, there's.
I mean, is it something that you think you're going to leverage when you graduate from college and go back into the working world? I mean, is that something that's going to be on your resume?
No. I mean, I'll definitely still be Instagramming and thinking about this. When we're here talking, I'm thinking about I should probably go on my Instagram and download every picture I've Instagrammed just in case you never know what's going to happen with them.
The best way that you can, and this is just even the small following that I have and the websites that I work for, the best way to me that you can kind of take these things is that if you need, like, say you're going for a big project and you need a piece of gear or something like that. I mean, the fact that, like, between this podcast and writing for Photo Brigade and stuff like that, I can call up, or CS does the same thing. We get sent things all the time. Is that you can ask for things a lot easier. You can ask, oh, can I try out this piece of gear? I'm going to go to Sudan and I want to try out the 3D camera or whatever from Nikon. You'll probably get a response from Nikon in like 10 seconds because they know that you're going to take photos with it and you're going to put it up there. And as a photojournalist, obviously you're always walking this very fine line of sponsorship. I mean, if anybody wants to check out the fantastic Temba messenger bag, they can do that. And that's serious. I will die by that bag. The Temba messenger bags are awesome. They don't need to send me anything for it. But that's the best way that that's to me one of the only kind of purposes outside of getting out to editors, getting to that general public. Like, it's great. I mean, my biggest thing was when Scott Olson started following me on Instagram. That was my like happiest day. But
Scott's a great.
I mean, he's
a great guy.
And like it was one of his first follows too, which freaked me out too. He got on Instagram and whatever. But but I think that you got to kind of figure out what your ethics are for commercial purposes and how you can kind of use this media attention that you have through whatever that means by media attention. It's kind of the you're going to get paid in, oh my God, what's the term, guys? You get paid. Exposure is basically it's how to leverage exposure to profit you. And the fact that you can probably call up Canon and be like, hey, I'm going to do this assignment. I want to try out this lens, and I'll make sure that I say, and I'm always open if I take a photo of something or try with a new lens, I say, so and so sent me this lens to try out and review, and here it is. So I mean that's to me one of the big purposes of being able to have some weight on social media, and but selling other than making sure that you're connected to the right editors and right other photographers to be able to have. I mean, it's always nice as well to be able to I have a bunch of photographers who I have met maybe twice in my life, and they'll send me, if I'm going to New Hampshire or I'm going somewhere, they'll be like, okay, so here's the download, here's everything you need to know, and they talk to me through Facebook or even Instagram maybe. And so that's, to me, is the connections that you can make amongst your peers. Yeah. But I mean, like, just having 150,000 likes on Facebook is really genuinely. I mean, I'll tell you. Here's one example. We post links on our 50,000 Greg Palace 50,000 like Facebook page. We're happy when we get 150 clicks to actually purchase something. and actually make a donation because it's a nonprofit. So if we get 150 clicks onto a page, just even to give us their email, that's a success for us. And based on other people that I've talked to, it's par for the course. Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been our bonus topic. I want to thank our panelists for sticking around and talking with us a little bit about Facebook. Obviously, the social media discussion will go on forever with new things coming out all the time, but it's exciting. So I think the biggest thing is just learning about it and being on top of it if it's something you want to do. Anyways, this has been the bonus topic. I'm Dave Murphy. This has been Around the Lens, episode 25, and we're out.